Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever thought your day job in tech had absolutely nothing to do with global outreach, prepare to have your mind changed. Today, we're completely shattering what it means to do mission work in the modern era. We're diving into this incredible intersection of technology, faith, and global impact, because right now the digital realm is just as crucial as the physical one.
So let's jump right into Section 1, Rethinking the Modern Missionary.
For years, there's been this persistent assumption floating around. If you're a computer science student pulling late-night coding sessions, or maybe a seasoned UX designer navigating the corporate world, you probably feel a massive disconnect. There's this unspoken rule that to be a real missionary and truly make a spiritual impact, you got to abandon your laptop, pack up your life, and become a traditional pastor or church planner, right? You might honestly be wondering, do my highly technical skills actually have any place in global ministry?
While that assumption couldn't be further from the truth, the reality of modern outreach has fundamentally shifted. We're moving way past the old stereotype of walking down dusty roads and learning entirely new spoken dialects. The new reality? It's built on Wi-Fi connections, cold brew coffee, and mechanical keyboards. Seriously, your email inbox, your Figma boards, your GitHub repos, those are now a vast, highly effective mission field. You don't need hiking boots when you can make a massive global impact right from your desk through online mentoring, remote hackathons, and building missional apps.
Which brings us to Section 2, Why God Uses Geeks.
If you were to sit down with a global mission CEO right now and ask them, hey, what's your absolute biggest bottleneck? What would you guess? Funding? Severe language barriers? Listen to this startling admission from one mission leader. They said, the number one thing that keeps our mission organization from moving forward with our goals is the lack of qualified computer people. Let that sink in for a second. The global church isn't just tolerating digital skills, it's absolutely desperate for them. Your seemingly secular abilities like software development, data architecture, or UX design are actually a vital superpower for modern outreach. Without that digital infrastructure, traditional missions literally just stall.
And hey, if you've got these skills, you are far from alone. Picture this, a room buzzing with intense energy. You've got Christian technologists, software engineers, and brilliant designers all clustered around folding tables, totally in the zone. They aren't just writing random code for some corporate client, they're actively hacking for the kingdom. It's this massive, collaborative community dedicating their weekends and their brainpower to solving real-world, missional gaps through technology. Just to help wrap your head around the sheer scale of this, a recent global indigenous hackathon successfully mobilized 1,100 technologists, developers, and designers. And they weren't all in one room. They were spread across 37 different cities in 26 nations. Over 1,000 professionals completely giving up their sleep, their free time, their weekends. Why? To build practical, desperately needed tech solutions for ministries all around the globe. I mean, that is the definition of dedication.
Moving on to Section 3, the Vibe Coding Revolution.
What is truly mind-blowing is how incredibly fast these tools are being built today. The barrier to entry for creating powerful software has almost completely vanished, all thanks to what industry experts are calling vibe coding. Instead of manually writing out every single line of code syntax from scratch, designers and non-engineers are using advanced AI language models to just generate entire functional prototypes in a matter of days. Tools like Cursor, Bolt.new, Lovable, and Replit, they're completely changing the game. Think about it. You can essentially describe the web app you want in plain English, and the AI handles the complex logic, the back-end architecture, and the deployment. It's basically pure magic for rapid development.
Because of this AI integration, there's a fundamental shift happening in the tech world. We're moving from the role of code writer to creative director. And this is incredibly empowering because it totally democratizes mission work. You no longer need to spend months learning obscure programming languages just to test out a missional idea. If you have a clear vision, a well-crafted prompt, and a burning desire to solve a pressing problem, you can execute it. Anyone with a good idea can now literally bring it to life.
Let's look at Section 4, Transforming the 7 Spheres.
So how are these rapid modern tools actually hitting the ground running across Lauren Cunningham's famous 7 spheres of influence in society? Let's start with the first sphere, family. Imagine the heartbreaking challenge of hundreds of orphans desperately needing homes. The local system is incredibly disorganized, leaving kids waiting while willing families have no way to connect with them. Well, technologists at a hackathon in Iloilo, Philippines, saw this exact problem and used their skills to build a platform called No More Orphans. They created a secure, streamlined database matching 349 local orphans with loving adoptive and foster parents across more than 1,000 local churches. They literally proved that writing good code can provide a child with a safe, forever home.
How amazing is that? Moving right along to the second sphere, religion. In Chiang Mai, Thailand, local developers realized they were facing a massive dual issue. They had deep-rooted illiteracy combined with a lack of access to biblical texts. People simply couldn't read the physical Bibles they were handed. So what did they do? They conceptualized and coded a brilliant app called Bible Karaoke, and it works exactly like it sounds. The app highlights the text on the screen in perfect sync with the spoken audio track. This allows illiterate populations to actively engage with Scripture immediately, and over time, they effectively learn to read through natural repetition and visual association.
Impacting the third sphere, education. Techies recognize that kids today absolutely need digital literacy to survive, but they also need solid foundational values. Enter WOW coding. Instead of just teaching secular, dry programming logic, developers built an integrated curriculum that uses visual block coding. So, as children drag and drop blocks of logic to learn crucial 21st century computer skills, they're simultaneously animating and interacting with foundational Bible stories. It's an incredible 2-for-1 educational tool that engages kids exactly where they're at.
For the fourth sphere, government and public service, we look to the streets of London. For a long time, churches and local charities were essentially guessing where to send their food banks and aid resources. They were often missing the hardest-hit neighborhoods entirely. A group of hackers decided to fix this, so they built a brilliant data visualization tool called Find the Need. It pulls in and maps out local poverty and deprivation data, creating this laser-focused heat map. Now, congregations can see exactly where their resources will have the highest possible impact in their immediate local area, totally removing the guesswork from charity.
Over in the fifth sphere, media. Developers in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, recognize a deeply concerning trend. The internet in their region was just being absolutely flooded with false teachings and damaging prosperity theology. Searching for sound Christian advice was literally like navigating a minefield. To combat this, they programmed a Christian content aggregator. But this isn't just a basic website. It's a highly sophisticated, trusted, and dynamically filtered search engine specifically designed to safeguard users and provide reliable access to authentic, theologically sound teachings. For the sixth sphere, arts and celebration, designers and developers are actively working to reclaim digital entertainment. Let's be honest, the mobile gaming market is saturated with mindless and sometimes negative content. To counter this, Christian creatives are hosting intense game jams. These are fast-paced, highly collaborative events totally focused on brainstorming and building interactive, faith-infused, casual mobile games. They're creating healthy, engaging, and genuinely fun digital entertainment alternatives for youth that reinforce positive values without being, cheesy.
Finally, in the seventh sphere, business and economics, a dedicated team in Melbourne tackled the ultimate logistical hurdle: funding. Missionary workers focusing on unreached, remote people groups are often severely underfunded just because they don't have large marketing networks behind them. This team coded a platform called GoSend. It acts as a specialized matching engine, connecting passionate financial donors directly with those remote ministry workers. By solving this economic gap with a few lines of code, they're ensuring that vital global efforts remain financially sustained over the long haul.
Which brings us to our final section, your call to action. Seeing these incredible, tangible examples across every single facet of society really brings everything full circle. I want you to think about the people behind these tools, these brilliant projects. They weren't built in billion-dollar corporate labs by massive teams with unlimited budgets. They were built by people sitting around folding tables, people exactly like you. They're doing profound, world-changing missionary work with nothing more than a standard laptop, a decent Wi-Fi connection, and a burning vision to help others. I really want you to think about this powerful, simple truth from tech mission recruiter Dorinda Beely. She says, "And God uses geeks." You don't have to change your personality, and you certainly don't have to change your profession to make a massive difference. Your highly analytical mind, your eye for user design, your knack for problem solving, none of that is an accident. Those specific abilities were given to you as a distinct calling.
So, the question really isn't whether your skills are needed. The global church is already desperate for them. The real question is how you will step up to use them. You have the ultimate modern toolkit right at your fingertips. Whether you're a seasoned back-end software engineer, an incredible UI/UX designer, or someone who's just starting to learn how to build apps using these new AI vibe coding tools, you have exactly what it takes. So, what missional problem are you going to solve next? The digital mission field is wide open, and it is waiting for you.